Welcome back to another Medtech Snapshot, the one question, one answer digest medical device podcast. And with me today is a great friend of mine. This has been long overdue. Mr. Achilles Young is with us today. If you know Achilles, you know that he is incredibly insightful when it comes to medical device operations. And he's going to share with us today his perspective on how you work within a matrix organization. I know a lot of you listening are in that kind of an environment. And how do you take ownership to make sure that you're actually solving problems along the way? But then we're also going to get into a little bit of how do you actually take the data that you have within a large organization and make it so that you're solving problems and moving things forward. All right, Achilles, so we're still staying in this thread of large organizations, matrix organizations, but now we're looking at the data side of it, the data analytics. You know, most companies at this point in time, they have a ton of data at their fingertips. The difference, though, are the companies who actually know how to use it. So what's your thoughts on how you take the data you have and how you make it so that it's actionable?
I love that one as well. As humans, we are always picking up information all the time using our faculties: sight, smell, hearing, taste, and touch. We naturally process that data as needed in order to successfully function. So basics, right? However, organizations need to take the time to train their associates on how to interpret that data. Biologically, we're using our five senses. Some people say we have six, some people say we have seven, but biologically and through nurturing, we automatically do that. You smell something that smells foul, you recoil. Yeah, you don't have to tell yourself to do that, it does it. With an organization, if there's data coming, people aren't trained to do that. If data is doing something and the pattern's not easily recognizable, then people won't naturally recoil or naturally react. So the training is important on interpretation. So how do we do that? We need reports that provide clear signals on the actions that need to be taken. Red, green. The Christmas tree works. Then, after taking the action, we need to create a feedback loop to ensure that we're reaching our goals. Give you an example. I have one of the team members working on SPC right now. This is as old as I've been in my career. If anyone knows the Toyota method, this is just what we do. Andon lights, right? But now let's go with green, red. You can have green. What does that mean? People think all is good. I can rest for a minute. I can breathe. Maybe not. If we interpret the data correctly, it's an opportunity for us now to perhaps elevate our game, but the window is tight, yeah? Because we only have so much material. We only have so many people. We only have the certain capacity on a machine. So we might have to jump on that opportunity with green rather than relax. If it's red, everybody wants to do something, right? Oh my goodness, before the CEO or the CTO or the CMO gets a hold of it. Well, maybe we don't want to do that. Let's look at the red, see what that reaction was, and maybe it was too hasty. Yeah? Maybe that's the time to reflect. That is training. That's where we do our A3s. So I would love to see the data come into organizations, be put into a system, and folks are trained on how to appropriately react to it.
You know, in this discussion where we're talking about how you take data and then transition it into being actionable, I'd love to get your thoughts on how you deal with confirmation bias, because this is a huge issue here. You know, so it's this idea of we're going to dive into the data, but we're looking to validate something we already know and believe. And it's really easy to mix data up or to sort it so that it then supports our thesis, right? So how do you steer clear of that?
It's hard. I'm going to take it from a technical aspect and a business aspect. From a technical aspect, I would just really encourage leaders, technical leaders, SMEs, individual contributors to let the data take you where it's going to take you. Yeah. The most basic thing, a tensile test. We have an idea that the joint is failing because of X. Well, pull the tensile test, get the variable data, but then also go ahead and get the data for the qualitative information, right? On how long it took, and just watch it, plot it, and it will tell you, where to look next. So I think that's pretty simple. From a business standpoint, the bias is hard because people want resolution. Individuals want to see success. However, what I see often, Travis, is that we don't connect with our financial partners early enough. We don't take them along on the journey so that they can actually do their job and say, listen, the ROI expected is this, and we're on a journey, a step journey to doing it. Why is it taking so long? Well, if they're there early, they can understand, hey, what's happening, and even help provide us information, as opposed to coming in halfway through or 3/4 way through the program as things are going to wrap up, and then having to get them up to speed. And they're like, there's no way you're going to be able to, utilize all of this capital here in this short amount of time. Do you not know the business cycle? So let the data take you where it wants to take you technically. From a business aspect, make sure we have the right partners involved so we have that collaborative view, all the angles and perspectives, so we get a true view of what's happening with the initiative.